Yo yo yo, what is up? It is me, Lucifer2B666, and today this video is about transgender rights. First off, you guys are a little freaky, you transgender people. Don't expect people to treat you exactly the same, okay? Being transgender is taboo. I don't consider being gay taboo, but I consider being transgender just a little taboo, okay? I'm just saying it doesn't give anybody the right to discriminate against you, but people are gonna treat you just a little bit differently. You gotta understand that, okay? If they figure out, a lot of people are, me personally, I just think that's freaky. I think it's weird, and I get why you do what you do, but I just think you're a little freaky, okay? That's it. You gotta understand why I think the way I do, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a person like me and, a lot of other people. Um, well, every person is a person, obviously, but, you know, you're a normal person. Just, you're a little different in a way. I, you know what I mean? You're still normal. You still, you're not all that taboo, I guess. I mean, it's kind of, in my opinion, you guys are kind of like the gay community in a way. I don't mean that to offend anybody or anything. I don't mean it like that, but you guys are kind of like, it's similar, that you guys are fighting for the same type of cause, and you guys are, it's similar, very, very similar, the two of you. But one, people just find a little more taboo than the other, you know. Um, so first off, you have the right to be transgender. That's not an argument. That's crazy to say that being transgender should be illegal. That's a little crazy, obviously. But and you shouldn't be discriminated against. That's not right either. Um, but don't expect to not be criticized. Just like gay people, I'm sorry, but the two groups cannot. You know, everybody can criticize everybody, no matter whether they're straight, gay, transgender, black, white. It doesn't matter. Okay, I can say whatever I want about anybody, and I shouldn't have to be penalized just because you're transgender or just because you're gay, while I can say that to a straight person and not get in trouble. You know what I mean? That I don't like that ideology. It's kind of, you don't get any other benefit for being what you are. That's how I see it. Everybody's equal. You don't get extra, benefits for being something, while the majority of the population has to get punished because you want all these privileges. I'm not saying the transgender community is like that. I feel the gay community is a lot more like that because they ask for a lot that is a little too much. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying that's my opinion. Um, Now, there are rights they need to sort through. A lot of people don't feel they should have a lot of rights, and that's wrong. They should have equal rights as us, but they shouldn't have more than us. I'm talking as a straight person. So, transgender. Um, Obviously, you can do whatever you want, and I get why you're the way you are. It's just, again, kind of like gay people. You're born that way. You maybe not physically, but mentally, you don't feel you are the gender that you are, and you want to change because it doesn't define you. You don't feel like you connect with that gender, and you don't like that. The opposite sex. Sometimes you do, meaning you would be a gay transgender person. I don't know how to define that, but um, that's kind of weird. But a lot of people are transgender for a lot of reasons, and I get it. I get it. It's just, it's a mental thing. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not a mental disease like some people like to say. There's no. It's just like being gay. You're just born that way. You think that way. And there's nothing wrong with you thinking a certain way, as long as you're not harming anybody, which you guys aren't. Majority of the time, I'm going to get into that. Then you should be fine. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Now, where I feel a little weird about this is I'm okay with having a gay, what should we call it? Like, I feel I'm trying to get the right word. Not, I don't mean partner as in partner, if you know what I'm saying. I mean like partner, like as in, like at school, like a lab partner, or you know what I mean. I'm okay with that. I don't care. Um, you know, I'm okay with a gay teacher. I'm okay with a gay politician. I'm okay with all that. I don't care. Transgender, on the other hand, I feel a little weird about that. I don't know. I'm not going to discriminate against you, but I might want to stay away from you a little bit. I want some distance. I just feel that's a little freaky. It's kind of like the bagel heads. Have you ever heard of those? I'm not comparing you to them, and well, I guess I kind of am, but I don't mean it like that. Uh, I don't know if you guys have look it up online. It's really disgusting. It's these people. They get like this foam, and it's in the shape of a bagel on their forehead. So they have like this, like I can't even explain it. It's like this bump that's in the like a donut type of shape or bagel shape, and it's really disgusting. Or like the other weird mutilations out there and stuff. Um, I kind of view you guys similar to them, but not as freaky, if that makes sense. In their, them, they are a little bit different than transgender. Transgender, there's a reason behind it. Them, they're just freaks of nature, and they just want to mutilate their bodies so they look weird. I don't know. That's a little freaky. But it's kind of a similar type of deal. Like if you have some weird mutilation on your face that you caused, I'm gonna kind of back away from you and not really want to be associated with you because that's a little freaky. Okay. Um, so it's kind of similar to transgender. Like I don't know. I feel that's a little freaky. That's a little weird. And sometimes you can't tell though, which I'm okay with that. But I mean, when you can tell, when everybody knows, when you're like coming out about this and you're like, I'm transgender, yay. I don't know. That's a little freaky for me. I want to stay away from that. But you know, you can still be a productive part of society. But I'm sorry. I just think it's a little weird. Like if I had a teacher like that, I don't know if I would feel comfortable. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. I just think that's a little freaky. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm being hypocritical because I say I'm okay with gay people, but I'm not okay with straight, or not, I'm okay with straight people. I meant transgender people when you're kind of the same thing in a way. I feel that's kind of hypocritical of myself to say, but it's just weird to me. It's so taboo and freaky. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know, but I would still be friends with the transgender person. I would still be, I guess, a lab partner with, in like a science class or something with a transgender person or something like that. But, I would have to get to know you. I don't think if you were just like transgender and you kind of came up to me and you were like, let's be partners, I think I would be a little like hesitant about that. I don't know. Well, if it was like a gay person, I wouldn't really care. I mean, even if they were into me, even if they weren't into me, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Well, transgender, I feel that's a little freaky. A little weird. Um, so let me get into the real rights, though. So um, I probably babbled on for like 10 minutes about that, so I didn't mean to say that. But I did mean to say what I said, but I didn't mean to go on that long, if that makes sense. So the actual rights. Military. Transgender people are not allowed in the military. That's something I didn't know until recently. Um, which I think is wrong. I feel women should be able to go in the military. Gay people should be able to go in the military. Transgender people should be able to go in the military. We're all equal, and thing about being transgender is the problem I would have with the military and transgender people is nothing about social anything. It's more about how do they test you? Do they test you as a female or do they test you as a male? I mean, technically speaking, you do have either two X chromosomes or one X, one Y chromosome, or, maybe some weird variation if there was, a problem, like one X or one X, two Ys, or three X's, or whatever it may be. But technically speaking, if you're transgender, you're still your original gender. I don't. I know a lot of people don't want to agree with that, but it's true. You still are genetically the same. You may distance yourself. You may make yourself look like and function like the opposite gender, but you're still technically the same as what you originally were. Um, so I don't know how they test you though. Do they test you as your new gender or your previous gender? Because I feel they should test you as your new gender, or not really gender, because you never changed really. You just physically changed, not genetically changed. That's the thing about transgender. I don't like to say that they're a new gender because they're not. They're the same gender. They have they're popping pills and physically look a little bit different. That's the difference. Uh, but how I feel about military. I feel they should test you as your new gender because once you're popping those pills and stuff, you're really physically a female. You're not going to grow super duper muscles, and I mean, you could if you worked out, but I mean, like, not just randomly have them like males do. They usually have muscles. Um, Not everybody has muscles, but I mean, like, stronger, more fit muscles. Uh, we're just built differently. Well, female, they're built differently. They're more, shorter. I mean, I know there's tiny, or I mean, there's tiny females and tall females, obviously, but the majority are tiny. They're, more frail, and I know that I feel like I'm stereotyping here, but it's the truth. That's how we are. Um, there's no stereotype. I'm not being sexist or anything. That's crazy to say that. I'm just saying that's how we are. Yes, there are plenty of frail little tiny males out there, and there's plenty of tall, super strong, females out there. But I'm just saying the majority are built like that because it's just how we genetically are. Um, so once you start popping those pills and stuff, and you physically change into a female or a male, either way. Sorry, I've been using the example of a female, but um, I don't know. I feel they should test you as the new gender that you are or claim to be or whatever. Also, uh, teacher. As I've said before, I feel a little weird about that, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel weird about a gay teacher, I feel it should be my right to choose whether or not I want that. It should be, ultimately my right to choose that. Um, but I think you should still be able to teach. Maybe, if I possibly had a transgender teacher, I would go to the class maybe just to learn, just to understand. Maybe not have as much fear about, the unknown, if that makes sense. So I could get educated. I should know, what they're all about. But I feel it's my if I already learned about them and I feel they're freaky, if I've known people that are transgender and I don't agree with that, then or same with gay people, then I feel I should be out of that class if I want to. I should get a different teacher if I feel the need to. Um, that's my opinion. And you know what? I'm sure I would be fine. I really haven't met a transgender person. I'll be first to admit it. So I make all these assumptions when I really don't know, anything about them. Uh, I mean, I know about the transgender community. I know how it works, and I understand that, but I haven't physically met one. I haven't heard their political opinions and such. Um, so yeah, but teacher, I don't know. It should be our choice. Uh, then we go into. Sorry, I got cut off. So about parents, I feel you should have the right, um, as a transgender person, to have a child. Maybe not physically because you really can't, but adopt a child and all that. But just like gay people, the child is going to get bullied. They're going to have a lot of problems in their life because you do that. I'm sorry, that's just how society works. They're going to have a lot of problems, okay, in their life because you chose to do that. I'm okay with you doing that. I'm sure you would be a perfect well, nobody's a perfect parent, but you get the point. You would be a good parent, okay? It doesn't matter whether you're transgender, gay, male or female. It does not matter. Race doesn't matter either. It's just if you're a good parent. I mean, that's all it matters about. And I feel that you're just going to cause the kid a lot of trouble. But if you really want to, go ahead. But I'm just telling you, the kid's going to have a lot of trouble in his life, okay? Because you chose to make that decision. I'm okay with it, though, okay? And I don't know. That's pretty much my opinion. I don't know. So, I know there's a lot more on the topic, but this is kind of the basic rundown. Again, I don't know all that much about the transgender community, so I can't really make any decisions other than those. Camera died again. Sorry. This is the final part. So, if you're one of those transgender people that hit on straight people and you try to marry them, you try to get really intimate with them, don't do that. Because I'm sorry, but if that were to happen to me, I would sue you for every single penny you ever owned. Because that's wrong. I mean, okay, think about it this way. A gay man likes a straight man, okay, and the straight man has no interest in the gay man. But then the gay man dresses up in drag, and he tries to hit on the straight man. Do you see something wrong with this? He's tricking the straight man into liking him, okay? So then they get really intimate, and then the man sees what he has, and usually this is what happens if you just dress up in drag, and he ends up killing the gay man, and end of story. The next morning, it's on the news that this gay man was, was in an alleyway, in some horrible, horrible, tortured, mutilated mess. That's what ends up happening to those people. Me personally, I would not deal with that way. I would sue you for every single penny you ever owned. But the majority of the straight male population is going to kill you. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I'm sorry, okay? And if they don't kill you, they're gonna beat you almost until death. I don't like that. I don't think that's the way they should go about it, but that's how males work. I'm sorry. So if you care about yourself, if you're not asking for a death wish, don't hit on straight people, okay? Hit on your own. I know you're gonna say, well, if they're into me, then fine. No, that if they know what they're getting themselves into, fine. But most of the time, you're tricking them, and they don't know what they're getting into. That's wrong. And you know what? I'm sorry, but you kind of deserve what you get. That's my opinion. I would never do that to anybody that would do something like that to me, but most of the time that's how it ends up, and I'm sorry, but you should have known what you got yourself into. That's it. I don't feel sorry for you if you end up like that. I I wouldn't do it, like I said, but I don't disagree with what they did. I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing that at all. If you're somebody, you just sue them for every single penny you own. But I'm saying it's very, very wrong. Sorry, it died again. I'm sorry. They feel really violated, and straight people, and it's wrong. I don't know. That's my opinion. So, like, favorite, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Um, Hopefully you agree with me that I'm okay with, you could be more open about, like more okay and accepting of transgender people. And I get that. I see where you're coming from. And you may disagree with me being a little prejudiced in a way, I guess. And, if you're transgender, I don't mean any harmful anything to you. I'm fine with what you do. Just kind of lay off of me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not into that. I'm sorry. If you come forward, you're like, hey, man, I'm transgender, can we just be friends? Then I would be fine with that. But if you're, like, a little, like, too frisky and I don't, and I know you're transgender, or if I figure out after the fact, then I'm going to have some problems with you. And the majority of the population would too. So, there you go. Like, favorite, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Tell me your opinions in the comments below. I don't know. See you later. Peace.